Hey, it's me, your man, Roadman. So, like many others, I was initially very turned off on the idea of armor coatings, but after discussing the concept with some podcast guests, talking to some friends, and thinking it over myself, I've actually come around on them. So, here's my hot take. I think armor coatings are a better concept than traditional colors in Halo. Now, let me be clear on a few things. I do not like that they seem to be tied so heavily to the brand deals and microtransactions. I do think that they could have implemented them in a way that provides more player freedom and that there are better alternatives. I really hope that you have a healthy selection of coatings when you first start playing and that you will be able to earn really cool coatings by completing achievements or other in-game milestones. Alright, with those disclaimers kind of out of the way, here's my pitch for the armor coatings. The primary and secondary armor color has been a staple of Halo since Halo 2. It kind of sucks a little that players won't be able to just choose a color that they like, but at the same time, it feels very stagnant in a way. Like they need to move forward, you need to do other things, and they could have gone in other directions. You could have customized your armor by piece or just choose a texture and pattern, kind of like For Honor's customization. They could have gone in other ways, but I'm simply saying that the coating system as we know it, to me, seems like a better alternative to the traditional color picker. It would be really cool in Infinite if you could simply set your armor coating to an off setting, allowing you to pick a primary and secondary color if you chose, but they're not going to do that because they need to make that sweet money to make up for making the most expensive game in history. And on top of that, with the free-to-play multiplayer, I'm kind of cutting them a little slack. But I honestly believe that when the dust has settled and you find an armor coating you fall in love with, it will feel much better than just making your Spartan red and purple. When you find a coating with a nice color palette of like 3 or 4 or 5 colors, with a texture that gives your Spartan some character, with a badass pattern up the shoulders, with animated armor pieces, you will be happier with the overall look than just primary black, secondary blue. And no, your Spartan won't look identical to everyone else's. You will have, knock on wood, full proper armor customization, so really it's just your coating that may be the same as another player's. But can we be real for a second? 90% of Halo players use either white, gray, or black as their primary armor color in Halo, so really if you're saying that the color is what makes Spartans look identical, then we already have that problem. I personally have cautious optimism for armor coatings. They've only shown 3 of potentially hundreds of coatings, and Redshift, one of the ones they've shown, already looks really good. Not to mention armor coatings adds the possibility of 343 adding coatings as part of a content update or other DLC, something we could never really do with colors. There was never a primary color add-on DLC because we already had enough shades and colors that there's kind of nowhere to go, besides like a full-on color wheel. But with the coatings, we ironically could in the future see a lot more variation in the ways that we can color our Spartans. Just something to think about.